Faith brought them from Ijebu. Destiny gave Lagos Erelu Kuti. Before the white garments of Io filled the streets of Lagos, before the staffs struck the earth in sacred rhythm, before the festival became the royal farewell of kings, there was a spiritual foundation, a migration not of armies but of faith. In the early formation of Lagos, during the reign of King Edu, the palace faced a silent uncertainty. Olori Ologbani, the queen, could not conceive. In a kingdom where lineage preserved authority and continuity protected stability, childlessness was not merely a private sorrow. It was a matter that touched the future of the throne. Within the palace walls, prayers were offered, consultations were made, but the heavens remained quiet. Far away in Ijebu, the homeland of her bloodline, were her brothers Ejelu and Maliki. They were not ordinary men. They were men of spiritual awareness, custodians of deeper traditional knowledge. Men who understood that when destiny appears delayed, one must return to sacred origins. When news of their sister's condition reached them, they made a decision that would alter the spiritual history of Lagos. They journeyed back into the spiritual heartland of Ijebu, not as wanderers but as seekers. Within sacred groves and ancestral shrines, consultations were made. Divination was performed. The spiritual cause of the delay was revealed, and so too was the solution. From Ijebu, they brought two powerful orishas to Lagos. The first was orisha ologede, a sacred force associated with fertility, motherhood, and the mysteries of creation, a deity whose spiritual essence is linked with fruitfulness and the opening of the womb. The second was orisha oniko, a powerful Esu-like presence, not evil, as often misunderstood, but a guardian of balance, destiny, and divine order, a force that ensures alignment between sacrifice and result, between request and fulfillment. These were not symbolic figures. Ejelu and Maliki returned to Lagos. Their arrival was not announced with noise, but with ritual precision. The necessary rites were performed according to sacred instruction. Offerings were made. Appeasements were completed. Invocations were spoken. The palace courtyard became a sacred ground. And then time shifted, not through spectacle, not through sudden drama, but through gradual manifestation. Olori Ologbani conceived. What was once a palace of concern became a palace of anticipation. The silence of uncertainty gave way to the sound of preparation. And in due season, she gave birth to a daughter. She was named Kuti. That child would grow to become a significant royal figure, later known in Lagos history as Erelu Kuti. Her birth was not viewed as ordinary. It was seen as fulfillment, a confirmation that faith carried from Ijebu had taken root in Lagos soil. From that moment, custodianship was established. Orisha ologede, the fertility deity brought for the queen, became known in Lagos as Orisha Ologbani, named in honor of the queen whose womb was opened. Orisha oniko remained under the spiritual guardianship of the descendants of Ejelu and Maliki. Their lineage became the custodians of oniko in Lagos, preserving rights, authority, and continuity through generations. And so, what began as a private family intervention became a public spiritual institution. Today, when Io ologede walks in solemn dignity, when Io oniko moves with controlled authority, when their staffs touch the earth of Lagos, they are not merely participants in a festival. They are living embodiments of that sacred journey. The Io tradition did not emerge in isolation. It is layered. It carries migrations, alliances, spiritual exchanges, and ancestral commitments. Within every procession lies memory. Within every chant lies preservation. Within every white garment lies continuity. The story of ologede and oniko reminds us that Lagos was not only built by trade and political structure. It was shaped by spiritual negotiation, by brothers who refused to accept barrenness as final, by rituals performed with conviction, by faith that crossed territories. Faith brought them from Ijebu. Destiny gave Lagos Erelu Kuti. And through her birth, through custodianship, through generations of observance, the spiritual architecture of Lagos was strengthened. So when the drums sound, when the streets fall into sacred order, When ologede and oniko appear before the people, remember, what you are witnessing is not performance. It is preservation. It is lineage. It is history walking. Faith brought them from Ijebu. Destiny gave Lagos Erelu Kuti.